The Pittsburgh Steelers are showing significant interest in two potential first-round draft targets that were evaluated during a 30-player event last weekend. Soon, I will reveal who these athletes are. Additionally, today, two mid-round prospects also visited the Steelers, and we will discuss some speculation surrounding one player that has been circulating in NFL circles, especially after receiving an invitation to the NFL Draft in Green Bay the day before. Before diving into the details, let's take a look at the latest news regarding the Steelers draft. Whenever I receive updated information about prospects visiting the team, I share my thoughts, offering detailed analysis on these players as part of my relevant work in the NFL draft field. Let's start with what has been identified as the Steelers' first-round pattern. Traditionally, they follow a specific method, conducting rigorous research on athletes they consider for a first-round selection. This pattern includes a formal visit to the combine, a 30-player evaluation, and the presence of the Steelers' position coach on the day of the athlete's evaluation. While the coaching staff is not always required to be present, as was the case with a player from the University of Washington last year, who had no team presence but was visited by the offensive line coach, these criteria usually result in a first-round pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Currently, we have three athletes who meet these requirements. The first is a receiver, which we mentioned last week, and the second is a safety. These criteria, which often lead to a first-round selection by the Pittsburgh Steelers, include three players fitting this profile. First, we have a receiver we previously analyzed as a viable option. Then, there's a safety from a South Carolina university and a receiver from an institution in Iowa, both aligning with what the team is looking for. It's worth noting that these are not the only three athletes qualifying for this criterion. The Steelers will continue to conduct 30-player visits in the weeks leading up to the NFL Draft. By the end of this process, we will have a list of athletes that could give us a clear view of who the Pittsburgh Steelers are eyeing on the first night of the draft in Green Bay. New names will certainly be added to this list, but for now, these three are the main focus. Now, let's dive into one of these athletes, as we've already discussed the previously mentioned receiver. The Steelers have shown significant interest in this player because he meets the key criteria for a first-round selection. While he's garnered a lot of attention, personally, I'm not entirely convinced that this is the best choice for the Steelers. My hesitation stems from the belief that he is not yet fully developed as a player for a team looking to win immediately. For me, when investing a first-round pick in an athlete, especially with an eye on immediate success, it's essential that the player is ready to step onto the field. I believe another player has the potential to be a game-changing talent, acting as a dynamic piece for the team. He has impressive size, is just 21 years old, which gives him time to develop, and has high character. Additionally, he's an excellent open field tackler with long arms that enhance his defensive skills. He effectively neutralizes tight ends in one-on-one coverage and, of course, displays remarkable athleticism, having earned a perfect score on a performance test at the NFL Combine earlier this year. This athlete is truly a physical specimen, but some limitations observed in his film suggest that he processes information slowly, and his recognition of run plays seems inconsistent. An outstanding athletic performance was highlighted when he earned a perfect 10 out of 10 on the athletic evaluation at this year's NFL Combine in Indianapolis. Without a doubt, this athlete presents impressive physical traits, but upon reviewing his performance, I notice a few limitations. He appears to have a delay in mental processing, and his run evaluations are inconsistent, especially in pressure situations. He has not yet solidified himself as a true run defender, facing blocks and similar circumstances. Moreover, his joints show stiffness, making it difficult to consider him a true cornerback. In a one-on-one battle with a skilled route runner, changing direction could prove challenging, as evident in his performances. To me, his evaluation falls between the late first round and second round. There is extraordinary potential, revealed through notable qualities in his profile, but I'm not convinced he is ready to perform as a safety under pressure situations immediately, which is likely what teams expect due to his athletic prowess. He can take on various roles, but especially as a run defender, he needs to develop further to reach his full potential. He primarily played as a free safety at South Carolina, where he currently feels most comfortable. It's possible the team is planning a transition related to a key player in the coming years, and he could be the choice for the free safety position. However, any team selecting this athlete in the first round seems to be looking for a versatile player capable of moving across the formation. Despite possessing the necessary physical skills, he still lacks experience in high-pressure situations and has not demonstrated the ability to handle the most demanding tasks in his film, which makes me hesitant to immediately assign him that role. I think he is a player the team could consider if they decide to trade down, but at the 21st pick, that would seem like a stretch, especially for a team aiming to win now. If the team decides to select a receiver in the first round, I don't envision the mentioned player still being available. In fact, another athlete seems like a more viable option in this selection. I think this would be an audacious strategy, particularly for a team focused on immediate success. If the team opts to select a receiver in the first round, I don't expect the mentioned player to still be available. The other athlete seems to be a more realistic choice in this scenario, as there's a strong possibility that he will be available at the 21st pick, while I doubt the mentioned player will still be around. It's plausible that he could be selected as early as the 8th pick by one team or 12th by another. There are various potential destinations for this athlete after posting a remarkable time at the NFL Combine, along with his game tape. However, I can imagine difficulties in the mentioned player falling to the 21st pick, whereas it's certainly easier to envision the other athlete being selected at this slot. This would be especially true if the team decides to trade down, which I believe would result in an excellent pick and an ideal fit. I recognize that many see a second-round prospect in relation to this player, but upon analyzing his plays, I see that he possesses a complete skill set. He demonstrates the ability to execute actions swiftly in college football. He was part of an offense that wasn't very complex, which may have overshadowed some of his skills. However, observing his playing style, his ability to gain yards after the catch is impressive, and he maintains his speed even after securing the ball. He excelled in agility drills at the Combine and possesses a robust physique, along with a high contested catch rate. Moreover, he runs exceptional routes, displaying fluidity in his movements, which enhances his efficiency in gaining yards after the catch. I consider him a complete wide receiver with the potential to become a top-tier wide receiver in the NFL. Therefore, if the team decides to pick a wide receiver in the first round, this player would undoubtedly be my top choice. Furthermore, I believe that if Pittsburgh selects a wide receiver in the first round, this could suggest the possibility of trading a player at some point during the draft or even before it. I want to clarify that I do not endorse this idea. I would prefer them to keep this player and not look for a wide receiver. The decision to possibly select a wide receiver in the first round indicates that the team might be considering a trade involving a player during the draft or even before it. I want to make it clear that I am not in favor of this move. I think it would be more beneficial for them to keep this player and not go for a wide receiver in this opening round. However, it's evident that the team has shown significant interest in two high-level wide receiver prospects, and this interest is hard to ignore. Additionally, the player in question is about to complete the final year of his contract, and if the team believes they could secure a second-day draft pick in exchange, they could consider selecting a wide receiver in the first round as a second option. Given the situation, it seems he may only have one more season with the team, which complicates things. Personally, I would prefer to see this wide receiver duo stay together, while opting for a different strategy in the first round. However, with the team's strong interest in first-round wide receivers, we must admit that this is a real possibility for the team this year. I'd love to hear your opinions. Would you support a trade involving this player if they selected a wide receiver in the first round? Now, before we dive deeper, I recently attended a game where a pitcher played for one team against another in Arlington, and we were lucky enough to save on tickets, which allowed us to enjoy great food and products at the event. Later, we went to a venue where we enjoyed some live music, making the experience memorable. Through an efficient ticket acquisition service, we managed to save a significant amount, allowing us to enjoy the game even more. We treated ourselves to a delicious meal and bought some souvenirs. Afterward, we headed to a vibrant spot nearby where we enjoyed an amazing live music performance. The experience was truly memorable. This service makes the ticket buying process for any event much quicker and more accessible. Prices on the app often drop as the event approaches, providing excellent opportunities for last-minute ticket buyers. With an extensive pricing structure, seating view options, and a guarantee of the lowest price, the uncertainty in buying tickets for Major League Baseball events is eliminated. While the team may not be in top form at the moment, the stadium remains impressive and the starting pitcher still stands out on the mound. For those who want to catch his performance against rivals on the next night, excellent seating options are available throughout the country's main stadium to see the best pitcher showcase his skills against opponents. Eliminate uncertainty by purchasing tickets through this service. After creating an account, you can enjoy a special offer on your first purchase, subject to applicable terms. It's essential to create the account and use the provided code to secure a discount on your first purchase. Don't forget to download the app for last-minute ticket purchases at the best guaranteed prices. Recently, a running back from one university and a defensive tackle from another school visited the local football team. These are two athletes who could be selected in the middle rounds of the draft, possibly between the third and fourth rounds. Keep an eye on the running back. If they opt not to select one in the first round, which is a real possibility, I believe he fits perfectly into the team's needs. He posted the fastest 40-yard dash time among running backs this year, with an impressive mark. His video performance shows an agile technique, especially in wide zone and outside-in running schemes, which is the style the team plans to implement. His explosion is worth noting, with an explosive run rate that surpasses a significant percentage during his college season, showcasing notable runs. With a remarkable run time, he offers a very smooth performance, especially when executing wide zone and outside-in running schemes, which is exactly what the team wants to apply. He excels in explosiveness, posting an accelerated run rate that surpasses a significant percentage in the most recent season, accumulating a considerable amount of explosive runs, an aspect the team seeks to integrate into their offense, especially given that the starting player has failed to provide this in recent seasons. It's worth mentioning that he has an issue with fumbles, which may justify his exclusion from earlier picks or possibly the second round. This issue becomes a concern for the coaching staff, but as is commonly said, they believe it can be corrected through training. If they can address the fumble issue, he could turn out to be a major acquisition in this draft class for the team at a crucial position where mistakes should be avoided. Now let's talk about the defensive tackle, which we were discussing for the first time. The analysis shows that his athletic ability is impressive. He has a good start off the snap, excellent speed in both his legs and hands, as well as notable overall agility, moving smoothly for someone his size. His hands are strong, which certainly adds power to his performance. He has some more refined pass rush moves, standing out with a maneuver that is highly valued. His physique is excellent, really well built, allowing him to win leverage battles, especially when keeping his shoulder level low. One area of concern is the inconsistency in this aspect. When he keeps his shoulders low, he is really effective and powerful, but this appears inconsistently in his film. Additionally, he struggles against double teams, indicating that, at this stage of his career, he is certainly not a nose tackle. Sometimes his reaction time can be a bit delayed, allowing opposing running backs to get by him. For me, I place a grade on him toward the end of the second day or beginning of the third day, as he has the necessary physical traits to develop. Currently, he doesn't stand out as a defensive line player, and sometimes his ability to shed blocks falls short, allowing running backs to get past him. Personally, I give him a grade ranging from the end of the second day to the start of the third day, as he has notable physical traits and athletic skills. He has a solid frame, and I truly value the athleticism he brings. No doubt, he has the potential to become an excellent player in this league and had a very solid performance at the annual event. However, there is justification for his position in the 8th/6th of the overall ranking, which is close to the end of the second day. He is likely to be chosen in the third round, and this is the position the team is operating in at the 83rd overall. However, If the intent is to find an effective defensive line player, I don't see him as the best option, as there are other athletes who have shown themselves to be more capable and consistent at handling double teams and their dynamics. So, if he's being considered for the team's interior line, it's likely that the player already occupying that role will remain the starter. At the same time, for those wanting more information about the draft, it's important to interact with the videos. Interactions are valuable, and if there's ongoing engagement, more content like this will be created. There's an interest in sharing more about the draft and the team's moves, and right now, we're evaluating players. At the start of this video, we analyzed those being invited for visits, showing great interest. It's also important to observe the players the team is ignoring. Currently, there are rumors circulating about the possibility of a player not being among the top 3, leading many to speculate that the team could select him at the 21st pick or even trade their selection for the next quarterback of the franchise. However, in practice, there hasn't been significant interest in him during the draft process. When a team chooses a quarterback in the first round, especially at the current level, it's crucial to evaluate the prospects thoroughly. This involves having them on the whiteboard during the event, organizing visits with the top 30 players, and ensuring the coaching staff and management are present on the player's pro day. Unfortunately, so far, none of these steps have been followed. There is no known meeting, no top 30 visits scheduled, and the coaching staff was not present on the player's pro day. It doesn't seem like they are seriously considering this possibility, and given the average strength of his arm, this situation could benefit the team's future. Regarding another player frequently linked to the team in various projections, there was also no management presence on his pro day. They did have a visit and held a formal meeting, and they were represented at the event, although not by the decision-making part of the organization. Looking at the current landscape, it seems unlikely that the team will choose a quarterback in the first round. They seem optimistic about the possibility of acquiring a specific player, and when that happens, they may prefer a quarterback who is more considered a developmental project. A player who could attract attention in the third round, if available, is the quarterback from Alabama, who has shown genuine interest in him, with his presence at the pro day and even a dinner the night before the event. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing with rumors that could shake the very foundations of the AFC North. Tyreek Hill, widely known as the Cheetah, may be on the verge of a stunning move to the Pittsburgh Steelers. After a tumultuous end to the 2024 season with the Miami Dolphins, in which frustrations boiled over and Hill publicly hinted at a potential departure, Pittsburgh has emerged as a possible and intriguing landing spot. The thought of pairing one of the most explosive wide receivers in NFL history with Pittsburgh's young offense is enough to make any Steelers fan sit up and take notice. Hill's resume speaks for itself. With a Super Bowl ring, 8 consecutive Pro Bowl selections, and a record-shattering 2023 campaign where he led the league in receiving yards and touchdowns, Hill remains at the peak of his powers. Despite a slight dip in production in 2024 and the Dolphins missing the playoffs, his playmaking ability hasn't waned. His elite speed and uncanny ability to stretch defenses could be exactly what Pittsburgh needs to take the next step in a highly competitive division. For the Steelers, this move would signal a major shift in strategy, going from a developing team to a legitimate contender. With a defense already stacked with talent and a promising quarterback looking for a reliable deep threat, Hill's arrival could fast-track the franchise's return to playoff dominance. But acquiring a star of Hill's caliber won't come cheap. The financial and locker room dynamics would need to be carefully managed, especially considering Hill's fiery personality and recent off-field headlines. Still, the potential upside is impossible to ignore. Hill has proven time and again that he can be the difference maker in any game, on any stage. The idea of him wearing black and gold, catching bombs in the cold Pittsburgh air, and igniting terrible towels all across Acrisure Stadium is the kind of football fantasy that suddenly feels within reach. Whether this dream becomes reality remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the NFL is watching. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.